Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to Of Dice and Third Baseman. Once again, we're going to step into the World Series time machine and head back to 1966 and revisit that season's World Series between the Orioles and the Dodgers. If you were with us on the channel yesterday for Game 1, you will have seen the excitement of the Dodger Stadium crowd as the Dodgers took the initial game of the series by a score of 4-2. The Orioles got off to a quick start against Don Drysdale, scoring in each of the first 2 innings. But the Dodgers scored once in the third and 2 in the fourth with the help of a pass ball and Maury Will's sacrifice fly to take the lead and hold on to the end for a 4-2 victory, with Drysdale going the distance, holding the Orioles to 8 hits and holding them scoreless after the second inning. All of which puts the Orioles in a difficult position today, Thursday, the 6th of October, 1966, as they're already down 1-0 in the series on the road, and in Game 2, they'll have to face the left arm of God, Sandy Koufax. We've got an outstanding pitching matchup here for Game 2 on the channel. As I mentioned, Koufax will be going for the Dodgers. Facing him will be the 20-year-old right-hander Jim Palmer for the Orioles. This should be a good one. Let's check out the starting lineups. The Orioles will shift things around a little bit against the left-hander. Aparicio will lead off at short. Curt Blefary moves up into the 2-hole and will play left field, followed by the Robinsons, Frank and Brooks. Boog Powell will play first and bat fifth. Davey Johnson at second. Paul Blair comes into the lineup to play center field. Andy Etchebarren behind the plate. And the young Jim Palmer, a 15-game winner during the regular season, will take the mound in a big spot for the Orioles. The Dodgers will have Maury Wills leading off and playing shortstop. Jim Gilliam jumps up to the 2-hole to play third. Willie Davis in center. Ron Fairley into the lineup with a right-hander on the mound. He'll play right field. Jim Lefevre at second. Lou Johnson in left. Johnny Roseborough behind the plate. Wes Parker at first base. And Sandy Koufax, winner of 27 games during the regular season with a sub-2 ERA, will take the mound for the Dodgers, looking to take a big lead in the series. Without further ado, let's head down to the field at Dodger Stadium and get Game 2 of the 1966 World Series underway. Stepping in to lead it off for the Orioles against Sandy Koufax will be Luis Aparicio. The Orioles shortstop was 1 for 5 in Game 1. Koufax the pitch. 460 against a lefty, and that's popped up on the infield. Be handled easily by Lefevre. 1 down for Baltimore. And Blefary to bat. 443. That's hit solidly, but right at the shortstop. Wills up with it over to first. 2 down. And Frank Robinson will stand in. He was 1 for 4 in the opener. 160, and that's also on the ground. Hit it to Parker at first. Koufax will cover first. And a quick 1-2-3 inning for Baltimore on the top of the first. No runs, no hits, nobody left. And the Dodgers will get their shot in the first inning. And stepping in to lead it off for the home team is the shortstop Maury Wills. He went hitless in Game 1, but he did provide the game-winning RBI when his 4th inning sacrifice fly put the Dodgers into the lead for good. Palmer kicks and deals. 104, that's a 304. Got Wills looking. Breaking ball had him fooled with 2 strikes, and now it's Jim Gilliam. 625 at home, that's a 635, and that's popped up in the vicinity of shortstop. And Aparicio will handle that easily for the second out. And now Willie Davis will get his first at bat of the game. 657 at home, that's 667. And that's hit on the ground to shortstop. Aparicio over to first. And the Dodgers go in order in their half of the first inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We go to the second, no score. Brooks Robinson will stand in. 309. And Brooks hits that one on a line to right field. But no problem there for Fairley. Puts it away for the first out. And Boog Powell steps in. 679. That's hit back to the mound. Koufax spears it, underhands to first. There's two away. And Davy Johnson at the plate. 243. Right-handed batter. Swing and a miss. Koufax's first strikeout of the game. And he set down the first 6 Orioles in order. Both the fans and the media expected a close, tightly pitched ball game, and in the early going, that's what they're getting. Fairley steps in to face Palmer. 368. That's hit on the ground to first base. Boog will handle that himself. And there's one down for the Dodgers. And Jim LaFay comes to the plate. It's for Lefevre. The pitch. 168. And we have our first base runner. As Lefevre takes ball 4. And he will trot down to first. And give Lou Johnson a chance with the duck on the pond. 425 against a righty. And that's hit on the ground to Aparicio. He underhands to Johnson for 1. Over to first. Double play. 6-4-3 in your scorebook. Johnson grounds into the twin killing. And that'll be it for the Dodgers in the bottom of the second. No runs, no hits, nobody left, and they waste a 1-out walk. And that'll bring Blair up to start the third for Baltimore. Koufax winds and delivers. 129, swing and a miss. Sandy starting to dial up the strikeout pitch. That's 2 in a row. Echebarren stands in. 142. 3 in a row. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That'll bring Palmer to the plate. Probably not too excited about that, given what's happened before him. Koufax will deliver to his counterpart. 177. Palmer is a contact 1. That is a swing and a miss. Koufax strikes out the side and has sent 4 Orioles in a row down swinging. Nothing doing for Baltimore in the third. And that'll bring up Johnny Roseborough to start the home half of the third inning for the Dodgers. 382. Johnny skies that to left. No problem for Blefary. There's one away. And Wes Parker. 341. It also hits that one in the air, this time to center. And that's an easy play for Paul Blair. 2 down. And Koufax will stand in. 411. He's an I3. and that's bounced to short. Aparicio has plenty of time to glove it. Take a look at the seams. Toss it to first. Koufax is retired. So we're through 3 innings at Dodger Stadium. Both teams have sent the minimum 9 men to the plate, and we've got no score. The Orioles roll over to the top of the menu, and Aparicio will see if he can get something started for the visitors in the top of the 4th. 3:29. That's bounced to shortstop. Wills chucks it over to first. 1 away. Kurt Blefary grounded out his first time up. 464 against a lefty. Swing and a miss. Koufax's 5th strikeout. All of the swinging variety. And Frank Robinson stands in. 207, that's a 407, and that's a base on balls. So first Oriole base runner of the game comes with 2 out in the 4th, and it's Frank Robinson trotting down to first, and here's Brooks. 278 against a righty. That's hit hard, but right at the third baseman, and Gilliam will flick it over to second to force Frank and retire the side. So the Orioles get no runs on no hits. They do leave a man after getting their first base runner of the game. And we head to the 4th with no score. Wills will come in at the top of the Dodger order. 578. That's hit on a line out to Blefary in left field, and that'll fall in front of him for a base hit. So the first hit of the game by either club goes to Maury Wills to lead off the 4th. Wills is a speed 3, steal 9. Etchebarren is an arm 5, so nothing doing at first. Gilliam is a bunt 5, and his power plus contact is 4. So the auto manager says with a man on first and nobody out, that's a bunting situation, so Gilliam will lay it down. That's 17, and his 5 is 22. And that's a bunted down the third base line to Robinson. His only play will be to throw it over to Powell at first. And it's a sacrifice for Gilliam. And Wills moves to second with 1 away, and the heart of the Dodger order coming up. First, that'll be Willie Davis. That's a 291 against a lefty, and that's hit hard to right field. Davis is a 3 power, and 9 more is 12. And that'll hold up for Frank Robinson to get under it and make the catch. And Maury will stay at second. So looked for a second there like Davis might come through with the RBI. But the ball hangs up, it's caught, and there's 2 down. Wills at second, and Ron Fairley steps in. That's a 607. At home, that's a 617. And he swings and misses. Second strikeout of the game for Palmer. And the Dodgers get a hit, but they leave Maury Wills stranded on second. And we're through 4 scoreless innings here at Chavez Ravine. Powell up, he grounded back to the mound in the second. 356, and he swings and doesn't come close to that fastball from Koufax. Sandy's 6th strikeout. Davey Johnson Went down swinging in the second. 569. That's hit on the ground to shortstop. Wills will not come up with it. It caroms off his glove and a couple of steps to his left for an error. And Johnson reaches first, and the Orioles have another base runner. That'll be Paul Blair, who struck out in the second. 523. And that's called strike 3. Seven of the last 10 Oriole outs have come by way of the strikeout. And that'll bring up Echebarren with Davy Johnson on first and 2 away for Baltimore. 656. That's bounced to second base. And Lefevre will flip to Wills covering with a force out that retires the side. No runs on no hits for the Orioles, and they leave one. And we're halfway through here at Dodger Stadium with no score. Jim Lefevre will start off the bottom of the 5th for the home club. 343. And he tops one just past the mound, and there's going to be no play. Infield hit for Lefevre. Second hit of the game for the Orioles. Second inning for the Dodgers, and second inning in a row that the leadoff man reaches. That'll bring up Lou Johnson. Lefevre no threat to do anything at first. 498 against a righty. And that is hit well to left field. Johnson's a 7 power. And 14 more is 21. And that ball is caught. Hit well, but Blefary gets back to the wall and makes the grab for the first out. Crowd jumped out of their seat when they heard the crack of the bat, but they were not rewarded. One down, man at first, and Roseboro to the plate. 508. We'll go to the rare play charts. $514. That's weakly hit in front of the catcher, who throws to shortstop to force out the runner. The shortstop can complete the double play by challenging the batter's speed. So Roseboro is a speed 3. Aparicio is an arm 3. So Louis will need a 10 or higher to complete the double play. He does. Aparicio's fielding rating is an 8, so there's no error. And it's a 2-6-3 double play. Nice play by Echebarren. And the Dodgers are retired in the 5th. They get no runs on a hit, and they leave no one. We go to the top of the 6th. And Palmer will stand in against Koufax. And Palmer will be vulnerable to fatigue in the 6th. The 20-year-old Oriole stands in. The pitch from Koufax. 113, that's a 313. Palmer's a contact 1. Got him looking. 8 strikeouts for Koufax. Aparicio. 328. That is bounced to shortstop. Wills has to hurry to get the speedy Aparicio, but he does, and there's 2 away in the Orioles' 6th. And Blefary to the plate. He grounded to short in the 1st, and he struck out swinging in the 4th. 366. That's popped up to third base. Gilliam a couple of steps to his left, and he puts it away for the 3rd out, and down go the Orioles again. No runs, no hits, nobody left. Parker will stand in for Los Angeles. .289. He's a switch hitter, and that's going to be hit sharply to right field. Parker is a power 6, and 11 more is 17. And that's hit pretty deeply to right, but it'll stay in, and there's room for Frank Robinson to get back and put it away for out number 1. And Koufax stands in. He grounded out to short in the 3rd. .273. Koufax hits that pretty well to left field. He is power 0. And 12 is 12. And that'll stay up to the left fielder, and Blefary moves over, pounds the glove, and puts it away for out number 2. So the Dodgers have had some decent contact against Palmer, but they haven't really come close to scoring either. Wills will stand in with 2 outs and nobody on. .553. That'll be hit on the ground to Brooks. No problems there. He gloves and throws to first to retire the Dodgers' leadoff hitter. And there's nothing doing for Los Angeles in the bottom of the 6th. And we go to the 7th with scoreless game here at Dodger Stadium. And Frank Robinson will stand in for the Orioles to see what he can do about that. He's grounded to first and walked. .608. He swings and he misses. 9th strikeout of the afternoon for Sandy Koufax. And Brooks will stand in. .524. That's going to be popped up behind home plate. Roseboro tosses the mask, takes a few steps towards the backstop, and he puts it away. The Orioles have not hit the ball out of the infield since Brooks Robinson lined to right in the 2nd inning. There's complete and utter dominance here by Koufax. Powell will stand in, 2 outs and nobody on. .208. That's a .408, and there you go with the broadcaster's jinx. Ball 4 to Powell. Koufax's 2nd walk of the game, and the Orioles have a man aboard. That'll bring up Davey Johnson. .688. And Johnson takes one in the ribs from Koufax. Hit by pitch. That'll move Powell down to 2nd. And for the first time in the game, the Orioles have what passes for a threat. Runners at 1st and 2nd, 2 outs, and Blair to the plate. Koufax winds, deals. 549. That'll be hit on the ground to Jim Lefevre. And it'll skip off the heel of his glove for an error. Second error of the game for Los Angeles. Blair reaches. Johnson moves to second, and Powell moves to third. And suddenly, Koufax is in real trouble. The Orioles have the bases loaded, 2 outs, and Andy Etchebarren due up. Well, as we mentioned during Game 1, the benches aren't the strongest on these clubs, so tie game, Orioles are going to let Etchebarren swing. He struck out swinging in the third and grounded into an inning force out in the fifth. Koufax looks in at the Oriole catcher and he delivers. It's a 443 against a lefty, and that's hit on 2 hops to third. Gilliam will again flip to second to retire Blair and end the inning. The Orioles get no runs on no hits, but they leave the bases loaded courtesy of a walk, a hit batsman, and an error. And the biggest chance of the ball game goes for naught in the top of the 7th. And we head to the stretch with a scoreless tie here at Dodger Stadium in a fantastic pitcher's duel, exactly as advertised, between Jim Palmer and Sandy Koufax. And Koufax is now vulnerable to fatigue. The Dodgers will have Gilliam, Davis, and Fairley in the bottom of the 7th. And Jim will step in to face Palmer. 323. That's popped up to shortstop. And Aparicio will put it away for the first out. Willie Davis, who's grounded to short and flied to right. 107. That's a 307. Strike 3 called. Palmer's third strikeout. And Ron Fairley bounced to first and struck out swinging. 344, and he taps that one right back to Palmer. The young right-hander gloves it, tosses gently to first where Powell's waiting, and Fairley's retired, and the Dodgers are retired in order in the 7th. So no runs, no hits, nobody left. Then we head to the 8th. Palmer will step in, see if he can get something started. 639. That's hit on a line, but a looping line right at the shortstop. And Wills makes the grab for the first out of the inning. Aparicio, who has popped to second and grounded out to shortstop twice. 404. And Luis will hit that one right back at the box. Koufax fields and throws to Parker at first, and there's 2 away. And Bleffery's grounded out, struck out, and popped to third. 441. The lefty, and that's hit into foul ground along the left field line. Ranging over is Gilliam, and he will make the catch in foul territory for the out. No runs on no hits again for Baltimore. And the Dodgers will come to bat in the bottom of the 8th. Both teams still looking for the first run of the game. And Jim Lefevre will start it off against Palmer. 564. That's hit to Aparicio. He'll glove it. Throw to first, one down. Johnson steps in. He's hit into a 6-4 3-double play and flied to left. .317, swing and a miss. Palmer with his 4th strikeout. Still got some stuff on the ball there as he works in his 8th inning. Roseboro stands in. He flied to left and hit into a 2-6-3 double play. 632 at home is 642. And that's skied to center field where Paul Blair is waiting. And he makes the catch that retires the side. So no runs, no hits, no errors for Los Angeles. And we go to the 9th with no score. And the Orioles will have the meat of their order coming up. Frank, Brooks, and Boog. Trying to do something, anything, against Sandy Koufax. Here's the pitch to Frank. 667. And that's hit pretty well, but right at the shortstop. Wills with the grab. Went to first. One down. Brooks. 613. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 10 for Koufax. And Powell stands in. He is hit back to the mound, struck out swinging and walked. 179. And Boog draws his 2nd walk of the game. Koufax's 3rd. And the Orioles have a runner here in the 9th with Davy Johnson due up. .199. And that's going to be poked by Johnson down the right field line. It hits the chalk, and it's going to roll all the way into the corner. Powell rounding 3rd. He's going to score the first run of the game, and Johnson trots into 2nd with an RBI double and the first hit of the game for the Orioles against Sandy Koufax, and it gives the Baltimore club the lead. 8 2/3 no-hit innings for Koufax. Then he issues a walk to Powell, and Johnson doesn't hit it hard, but he drops it in just the right place down the right field line. Fairley had a long way to go, and Powell scored from first on the RBI double, and the Orioles lead 1-0. Now Blair will stand in with an important run standing at second base. .394. And Blair drives that into left field for a base hit. Johnson will score, and it's 2-0 Orioles. Just like that. Koufax goes from no-hitter to 2-run deficit in the blink of an eye. And here's Etchebarren with Blair at first. That's a .291 versus a righty. And that's hit well to left field. Etchebarren is a 6 power. And 12 is 18. And that ball will get out of here. Andy Etchebarren. A 2-run home run. And it's all gone pear-shaped for Koufax here in the 9th. Blair scores, Etchebarren scores, and it's 4-0 Orioles. That'll bring up Palmer. Koufax, one last batter here. It's now 4, but the pitcher's up, so we'll leave him in. 143, and he strikes Palmer out for his 11th strikeout. And the Orioles are retired, but suddenly and improbably they score 4 runs on 3 hits, and nobody left. And turn a looming no-hitter into a 4-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the ninth. And Palmer will come out and try to finish it off. And he'll face Wes Parker to lead it off. Parker's skied out twice, once to Blair, once to Frank Robinson. Palmer looks in for the sign from Etchebarren. Here's the pitch, 428. That's a bouncer to second base where Davy Johnson's waiting. He flips it to first for the first out of the bottom of the ninth. And with Koufax's spot up, the Dodgers will go to the bench. Down 4 here. They need a base runner. Not a whole lot in the way of left-handed bats on the bench. Then we'll go to Jim Barbieri. Decent on-base percentage. Palmer is now retired 12 in a row, and he'll stare in at the pinch hitter. And here's the pitch. 530. That's hit on the ground to Powell at first. Boog is up with it. He'll step on the bag himself. And the Dodgers are down to their last out. But they do roll over to the top of the order. And Maury Wills will get a chance to try to make something happen against Jim Palmer. The 20-year-old deals. That's a 430. And that's a ground ball to second. Davy Johnson gloves it, up with it, over to Boog Powell at first. Wills is retired, and the Dodgers get no runs and no hits and leave nobody in the bottom of the ninth. And the Orioles win Game 2 of the 1966 World Series against Sandy Koufax and the Dodgers by a score of 4-0. The Orioles get 4 runs on 3 hits, all coming in the top of the ninth, and no errors. The Dodgers get no runs on 2 hits, and they make 2 errors. Koufax carried a no-hitter with 2 outs in the 9th inning, takes the loss. Palmer, who retired the last 14 men to face him, gets the win. A fantastic pitcher's duel, exactly as advertised. But the Orioles win Game 2 by a score of 4-0 to even the series at 1 game apiece. Hope you enjoyed that as much as we did. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we will see you later.